down, and I want you to take note of how slow I'm going to make sure that my heart rate doesn't go faster than it needs to, and in essence, I can use my oxygen extremely efficiently when I go slow. And if you listen closely, you can hear the grouper yelling at me after I take the shot. Obviously, I missed that fish, which is very frustrating, but you know I don't give up easily, so I was hitting and told to go find. I start my dive and start looking inside the cave, and I'm putting my flashlight to the left, to the right, really anywhere. But the hardest part about this is that everything was super stirred up from the grouper and my shot earlier hitting like the middle of the sand. So the visibility was low. And to make a long story short, once a grouper is holed up like that, they usually won't come out. So we'd rather spend time looking for another grouper that is not afraid of us than trying to find one that is. As we were swimming between coral heads, we were lucky enough to come across a grass flat. And in this grass flat, I point out a very large conch. These are absolutely delicious, like genuinely one of my favorites. They have a super sweet meat, and that would be the first of my 5 species. I hand my conch to the boat operator, and we start swimming towards the next coral head. Notice the grass kind of stops as you lead up to this coral head, and right in that area between the grass and the coral head, a nice sized jack swims right by me. I hit a very successful shot on him, but for whatever reason, my slip tip did not deploy, and he was able to get off the end of my spear. I see it slowly go into the coral head in front of it, and my guide is instantly deployed looking for this fish that I just speared. The unfortunate news is that the caves can go hundreds of feet in literally any direction, so we weren't able to find him.
I don't know where he went, but he's somewhere here.
I spent a little bit of time looking for it, and when I went to the bottom of this coral head, I realized just how deep this cave went. And honestly, it wasn't even a cave. It was just like tunnels through the coral. And that's when I realized that this fish was gone. But beyond that, the fish wasn't really big. It wasn't going to feed us for miles or days anyways. So I was like, whatever, you know what? Let's just hop back on the boat and find something that actually will sustain us for a while. We get back in the water, and I find this next coral head. And under here, you can see all of these little yellow fish are called grunt. And yes, they are edible, but I have 5 men I need to feed, and you just know one of those is not going to feed any of us. Started to go deep into this cave, and I was like, oh my, here we go again. This cave goes 1,000 different directions. This is really dangerous, to be honest. Like, we talk about cave diving, people in the dry area. This is true cave diving, and I'm not an experienced diver to the point where I could go deep in there confidently. I go to a shallow area just to see if I could break this curse somehow. Right? The problem with using a 10-foot spear is that it's not really the best for small fish like mangrove snappers, which is what I'm hunting right now. And you see, I'm like trying to pursue these little guys in between the rocks and in between the corals. And at the end of the day, I'm just missing, like a full-hearted missing. It's important to take a deep breath and not get too frustrated at this, though, because it will increase your heart rate and ultimately you will not be as effective of a hunter. I finally lock on a decent-sized mangrove snapper out in the open, and I start pursuing it to take my shot. And I freaking miss again. And I can't, guys, it's very important to remain calm, okay? At this point, I am losing it. Honestly, this is very challenging to have such easy shots. Like, there's no one to blame but myself, you know? I am just missing. And it's so frustrating. But again, you need to remain calm. I can't say that enough. You always need to remain calm and make the best decisions possible.
There's nothing here. Oh, we have better luck to catching out or other one. You want to just hop on the boat then? Yeah. Yo, let's get a grouper this time for real. 30 times the charm, baby.
We move to what we hope to be a more fruitful area, and I see my best friend, a big old sea turtle. And for some reason, these guys have always felt like good luck to me, so I take a good look at him, say hello, and then say goodbye and get back to the hunt. We wind up swimming to a much deeper area, and honestly, this isn't even that much deeper. It's probably like 15 to 20 feet compared to like the 6 to 10 feet that we were doing. I take a descent, and you're not tripping. I am completely upside down in this clip, and I do this just so that I can peek. Like, I only want the top of my head to show when I hopefully ambush a fish, right? So, because the bigger that I look, that's what the animals understand, right? Is size. So the less threatening I can make myself look, the more likely it is that I'm able to hunt something good. And this goes as far even down to your behavior. Like, if you're sporadically swimming, these fish are going to find you and swim away from you because they're scared. In this clip, I'm slowly approaching a grouper, and I'm trying to be patient and wait for him to turn sideways so that I have more surface area to hit, but he dipped. He did not give me the opportunity. Luckily, I wind up getting a godsend in the middle of the grass flats again and find a second species of conch. This one is called a lamb conch. It's identifiable by its very narrow shell. Also, it's orange inside compared to the previous conch, which was was like a very pink-like color.
This looks delicious, and it's not even out of the shell
I
yet.
signal the boat operator to come over. He grabs it, and instantly I hit up the next coral head. Now here we actually see a really solid-sized jack, and this is one that could feed generations. It feels like this fish isn't necessarily curious, but it's not really scared. So I take a dive, and he gives me the perfect shot on him, and I miss. Freaking missed, guys. I was losing it. I lost my mind when I missed that shot. I can't, but guys, again, stay calm in these situations. But that was like, I can't even. When you go through 3 easy shots that can genuinely feed your family and you just mess it up, you feel like you are the problem. And guys, I am the problem. The next godsend I get was a grouper, okay? And at this point, I've actually never shot a grouper in my life. So I slowly start to approach this one, which is located in between the coral. And he turns to the side, giving me the perfect shot on him. And it happened again. It happened again. I freaking missed again.
Bro, I have missed so many nice fish today. I missed like 4 easy shots, bro. I'm getting so frustrated with myself. I'm getting pissed.
Something must have heard me speaking to the universe because it sent me the dumbest fish in the sea and a nice sized one, a hogfish. And somehow it got off the end of my spear. And you see the sea turtle running in the background because he's like, oh my god, this hogfish just got murked. I better not do the same. I'm doing a very good job of keeping my eyes on this coral head just to make sure if the hogfish does decide to ditch to the bigger coral head, I'll see where it went. Eventually, it does actually ditch to the bigger coral head, and I go down to see if I can find him. And he winds up being deep underneath this ledge. And the camera doesn't really pick it up because my eyes are lower than the perspective of the camera, but I take the shot and hit the hogfish, and it got off the end of my spear again. And sometimes this will happen when you don't have enough room between your slip tip and the rock behind it. It won't make it so that the slip tip. This hogfish was critically hit twice. I was like losing my mind at this point, guys. Now the only problem when it comes to hunting anything and missing is that afterwards that fish is going to start freaking out, sending a bunch of vibrations into the ocean, and a giant shark should show up sooner or later. This one wasn't too big. It was only 4 or 5 feet, but I signaled my dive partner to keep an eye on it. And at one point he went for a dive, and the shark started to move in on him. So as a dive partner, it's your job to keep your partner safe. Do not ever leave your buddy. And then a second shark showed up, and it really got kind of a little bit sketchy.
Yo, those sharks are coming in on you every time you dive. You can move. Agreed?
So we get to the boat and hand our equipment to the boat.
Dylan went for a dive, and the shark started to move in on him. And I engaged that mother. Hey, scared him off.
Nice.
That's the first time I've ever engaged with a shark.
Yeah, that shark.
That's very.
I swear to you guys, I eventually wind up spearing some really nice fish in this video. Like this hogfish. It's swimming super, super slow. And I freaking missed. I missed him. How is it possible, guys? How is this happening? You'd think this is my first time or something. It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous. I lock in on this mangrove snapper. It's swimming slow. It thinks I'm friendly, and I mean, this is embarrassing. Lucky for me, mangrove snapper are one of the most plentiful fish on almost any reef in a tropical area. So when you see one, you usually see a lot more. And at this point, I see them, and I am determined to catch one. I'm not going to stop until I do. So I go in slow on this one, and I did it, gang. I did it. I caught species number 3. And this was honestly, it's so important to understand how your brain and momentum works. At this point, I was really, really feeling down on myself. So when I held this fish up in the air confidently, it kind of gave me a reminder, yo, it is really a shot-by-shot basis. Like, oh yeah, and then it actually brought in the sharks. But this time, we didn't get out of the water when the sharks came. We kind of just kept running with it. As a matter of fact, I saw a triggerfish that I really wanted to try to shoot, but then I realized that my dive buddies weren't within 100 yards of me. And I don't know how we got separated, but this is a really good thing to understand that it doesn't matter what fish is in front of you, right? You need to be patient. You need to understand that all it takes is one shark that can kill you. Seriously. And it's not saying the sharks are not dangerous, guys. Well, okay, sharks are dangerous, don't get me wrong, but you're sharing the ocean with them, right? You just need to be conscious of them just like they're conscious of you, okay? And you need to make it so that you're putting yourself in safe situations because they are an uncontrollable variable when it comes into the ocean. And this nurse shark comes like right up to us. Luckily, nurse sharks are like the sweethearts of the shark world. Literally the nicest, sweetest shark. I've never seen one do anything like this.
That was so weird for a nurse, right?
Dude, he's out of his league.
Why was he doing that?
I don't know. He probably thought my head's still like right now.
I've never seen a nurse shark do that.
We get back to the dive, and there's my good luck charm, a little sea turtle swimming through the corals, and I actually wound up spotting a really nice size, I think it was a mutton snapper. We were chasing him. He wound up in this coral head, and as I approached, you can only see the tail sticking out. You need a really good eye to see the tail, but I kind of predicted where he was going to go, and I made an adjustment so that I was on the other side, and right when he pokes his head out, I murked him, and I actually pulled so hard that I pulled the spear, the slip tip, right out of his rib cage, and that was so frustrating.
Every time, TJ. What is going on? I got a great holding shot, I thought. Obviously not.
We got back in the boat because the sharks were really starting to get fired up, and it's really important to understand shark behavior when you're in the water. Like, sometimes they will be really chill, they'll kind of be going slow. This is not an example of that, okay? This shark is fired up. He is looking for food. You can tell in his body language, the fins are angled down compared to by its side. It's going a little bit faster, and on top of that, it's aggressing towards us. Like you guys see, it's not swimming around us or anything. It's elevating in the water column, and this is just something you need to pay attention at all times.
That shark came in hot.
Yeah, he was kind of calling for my face.
At this point, there are two sharks that come in and start circling us, and they're showing that really aggressive behavior. And guys, I want to make this so clear. There is never any shame in getting back in the boat if you feel unsafe. Whenever you're free diving, it really is a very dangerous sport. There are so many bad things that could happen between shallow water blackout, a shark attack, a spear accident, whatever the case. I'm not trying to scare you. I just want to make you understand that you really should be in the water with someone that's experienced and has been there before.
Gotta get it quiet so the sharks don't come for us. That's not a joke, that's serious.
After quietly getting in the water, I see two pretty big white margate at the bottom here, and they're kind of just vibing, just chilling. And I figured this is my time to strike. So I slowly approach, and I just know I can't mess this up. Now, the reason I try to get this fish so close to me right off the bat is so that it can't make a bunch of commotion and draw in the sharks.
I got so stabbed with this.
The problem with this is that the top of the fish has a lot of spines on it.
Like getting stabbed with a knife. I'm getting in the boat for a minute.
So I decide to get in the boat for a sec, and I'm in a lot of pain. My hand is really, really hurt.
You got me good, bro. This whole thing went into me. Ron, what's your 2 cents on that? You guys take it off. Ow, bro, this still hurts so bad. I can't around with anything right now. This might be a day-ending injury. I'm in a lot of pain right now. That first thing of
Now, what I didn't know is that these spines in my hand would eventually lead to a pretty bad infection, but that didn't matter because...
Is this our last drop?
I would say 1 drop.
I need to catch 5 different species. Right now we have 4. If I don't catch 5, none of us eat tonight.
But I'm hungry.
I know. I'm hungry too, bro. We've been spearfishing for 12 hours now.
I gave everyone a fist bump, and we decided to deploy right over a coral reef that was actually a lot deeper than I'm comfortable diving. I would say I'm very comfortable diving like 25 to 30, hunting 25 to 30 feet. This one was closer to like 35, 40 feet. We're swimming around, scoping out the area, and the first thing I notice is that I literally see no fish. Guys, this is not a good sign. You want to see fish, especially if you're hunting them. So my buddy Dylan goes down, and as he's coming up, all he can say is one thing. So I'm taking a look, and I do not see the fish that he's mentioning, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a dive and see what I can see down there. Maybe when I get there, it'll become more clear to me. And on top of that, hogfish are pretty good at camouflaging, so I was like, I'm just going to go see what I can see. I get down there, and it's just as dead as I saw from the top. And I'm pretty bummed, guys. I realize that I'm not going to get the fish I want. And then I look to the left, and there he is. A nice hogfish. I'm happy to announce that I did wind up securing this fish, and me and my friends are going to be able to eat tonight.
Right.
Where you at?
Hey!
That's so...
तो भाइयों एक और बार सभी लोगों का स्वागत है हमारे आज के एक नए तगड़े हॉरर गेम वीडियो में। मतलब ये गेम इतना डरावना गेम है कि अगर तुम्हारा दिल कमजोर है तो इस वीडियो को देखो ही मत भाई, छोड़ दो। क्योंकि भाई एक इतनी डरावनी गेम मैंने मेरी लाइफ में नहीं देखी है। आज हम खेलने वाले हैं अनंत एक्सप्रेस, जो कि एक इंडियन डेवलपर ने बनाई है। तो क्या एक गेम अच्छी होगी? गेम में जाएंगे और फिर पता लगाएंगे। पर अगर तुम्हारा दिल कमजोर है, यहाँ पे होता है ना दिल, हाँ यहाँ पे, हाँ अगर तुम्हारा दिल कमजोर है तो वीडियो मत देखना, वरना खत्म हो जाओगे तुम लोग। वीडियो खत्म, तुम भी खत्म। गेम स्टार्ट हो चुका है। अनंत एक्सप्रेस, ओके लेट्स गो भाई। अनंत एक्सप्रेस, ये चांद क्यों निकला है भाई? ये स्टार्टिंग में इतना डरावना क्यों लग रहा है? मुझे भयंकर वाली फीलिंग आ रही है कि लंका लगने वाली है, ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे। ओके, ये हम कहाँ आ गए? अच्छा, मैंने गेम के बारे में सुना है कि बल्लारा जंक्शन पे है अभी हम लोग, और एक ट्रेन स्टेशन पे हम खड़े हुए हैं। और ये गेम के बारे में मैंने ये सुना है कि हम कोई ट्रेन के अंदर फंस जाते हैं, मतलब लूप में आ जाते हैं। तो अगर हम पहले डब्बे में है तो पहले डब्बे में ही फंसे हुए रहते, हम दूसरे डब्बे में जा ही नहीं पाते, ऐसा कुछ है। ये क्या चालू हो गया भाई? आरंभ, ओके आरंभ है, प्रचंड है। ओके, ट्रेन के अंदर कचरा पेटी का डब्बा, लेज, विमल भाई ये तो बहुत रियलिस्टिक है। विमल वगैरह भी है। अच्छा, स्टेशन वन नहीं, डब्बा S1। अच्छा, डब्बे का नाम है S1। ये भाई साहब नीचे बैठे हुए हैं, ऊपर पानी की बोतल पड़ी हुई है। ये 3 सोफे हैं लोगों के सोने के लिए। भाई ये इंडियन ट्रेन ही है, प्रॉपर इंडियन ट्रेन है। एसी ही होती है। ये देखो ऊपर ऐसे सोया हुआ है, ये यहाँ पे सोया हुआ है। ये भाई साहब क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे ब्लैक कपड़े में? हेलो, ये हमने देखा हुआ इसको रियल लाइफ में कहीं पे। टिकट कहाँ से मैं दिखाऊं? अच्छा
जी सर, लीजिए।
वो हमारा नाम आरव है।
लारा जंक्शन स्टेशन की टिकट कहाँ से मिली तुम्हें? वहाँ तो ना कोई चढ़ सकता है ना उतर सकता है।
क्या बात कर रहा है? ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता मेरे भाई, टिकट मिली है तो वैसे कैसे हो गया?
लेकिन सर मैं तो लारा जंक्शन से ही चढ़ा हूँ।
क्या बात?
और तुम्हारी सीट तो कोचस 12 में है, तुम कोचस 1 में चढ़ गए हो।
अच्छा, हमें 12 नंबर के डब्बे में पर मेरे को ये बताओ।
आगे मत जाना, आगे सब गड़बड़ है। अगर उसमें फंसे तो समय के चक्र में हमेशा के लिए फंस जाओगे।
भाई मैं समय के चक्कर
गड़बड़
बहुत
से सावधान रहना। अगर कुछ भी अजीब दिखे तो तुरंत लौट आना।
लोटा होगा, कोई बात नहीं, मैं समझ गया। अच्छा, ये क्या है? अच्छा, लोग हमें सिखा रहे हैं। अच्छा, ऐसे डब्बे